go fishing and you don't have the time, come along with me, it's Hook on the Fly.
What's up y'all, Jordan Hook from Hook on the Fly, and I wanted to do a quick video on glass fly rods. Do you need one? Should you just go with graphite? Fiberglass is an older technology. You don't see as many of them these days. I was fishing with a buddy of mine in Wyoming a couple weeks ago, and he was like, hey man, for the kind of fishing you do, you should really check out a glass fly rod. So I did. I bought an Orvis Superfine fly rod, and I just took it out this past week, and I have some notes on it for anyone who might be thinking about buying a glass fly rod. First of all, the biggest difference you're going to see in a glass fly rod is in the slow action. Slow action just means that it loads and bends slower and releases slower. It just means less stiff, essentially, as opposed to the faster action fly rods that you see on most of the racks nowadays if you walk into a fly shop that are stiffer. So there's some drawbacks and there's some benefits to having these slower action rods. And just anecdotally, I've talked to a couple other people that have the Butterstick and read some reviews online from some Echo fiberglass users that say that both of those glass rods are a little bit stiffer compared to the Orvis Superfine, which is a little bit softer and a little bit slower action, closer to what the traditional glass fly rods were. And I definitely found that to be true. So I was fishing with a dry fly and a dry dropper, and I was fishing a small spring creek in my local San Gabriel mountains. So first of all, I want to go over pros. Pros are roll casting was super easy. If you have a lot of cover around you like there is in the spring creek, you need to make good roll casts. It was awesome. Also, I found casting when I got into the creek and I was casting up, I had a little room in my back cast. I really liked the way that it loaded. I really liked the way that it released, and you could put these dry flies on a dime. It was very accurate, and it was really cool feeling the line load, and I felt like I had really good loop awareness. Like it made me a little bit better of a dry fly fisherman, I think. And that was really cool to see. I really liked the way that it cast the dry flies and the dry dropper, which I just had a very small nymph on underneath. And then when I hooked into fish, and this is something you'll hear from a lot of people, the fight was wild. They're so much more sensitive, these glass rods, that it really puts a bend in the rod. Almost in the beginning, that kind of worried me a little bit. It doubles over, especially if you have a bigger fish or a fish that's fighting hard, and you're just like, wow, this is crazy. And in smaller fish, it's gonna feel more sensitive and fight like a bigger fish. So that was definitely pretty cool too. A couple of the drawbacks, I think. First of all, longer distance casting. It wasn't able to perform at longer distances as well. Just kind of loses some of the power in the flex of the rod. You don't get the distance. Also wind. I found it a little tricky to cast in the wind. So also I didn't try streamers. I didn't try indicator nymph rigs or things that might be heavier, but I would guess that those would be drawbacks as well. So long and short of it is, if you are really into fishing dry flies or dry droppers, if you're fishing smaller spring creeks or areas that might have some brush overgrown, or places where you might need to do more roll casting, where the fish generally are going to be, I would say, smaller, this is going to be a great investment for you, and it's really fun and a really cool way to fly fish. But if you're mostly using streamers, mostly using indicator nymph rigs, fishing open water, bigger systems, then might not be the best idea for you to get a glass rod. These are just my thoughts and my experience. Drop a comment below if you have different thoughts or experiences, if you're a fan of glass or if you hate it. I'll see you guys later.